Hey guys, and welcome back to Gravey's Brewery with me, Gareth Goes Gravey. And guys, as you can see, and here, it's brew day. And for this one, I'm brewing up a little something that I've been looking forward to trying to bring you on camera for a little while. Admittedly, I have actually brewed this once before. I've got 6 bottles in the cupboard just off camera there. For this one, I'm going to be brewing a Milk Stout. As always, a 1 gallon batch, and here are my grains. Just see if I can't let you read them for a second. This should say that then. This grain bill, the ingredients will be down there in the description. And as I referenced, this is a Milk Stout. So I've also got a bag of lactose milk sugar, 500 gram bag, although I'm only going to be using 100 grams for this. So I'm quite thankful that the bag is actually a Ziploc bag. You'll be able to put this away for future reference or for future brews. Anyway, for this one, you'll see the lactose that will be going in during the boil. Now for that one, or in respect of that, I should mention that this particular recipe that I'm brewing up, I actually got this off a video here on YouTube from one of my favourite channels here on YouTube. I want to pop it down there in the description, so for anybody that wants to go and view it and get the full recipe, you can do. This is a little recipe that was brewed by James and Steve at Basic Brewing. Although they made a Count Chocula Milk Stout using breakfast cereal. I don't think we can get that particular cereal here in the UK. So I thought I'd just brew the Milk Stout without the Count Chocula, kind of see what it comes to. As I said, as I admitted, I have actually brewed this off camera with a slightly different recipe, or with the same recipe, different measurements. I might bring you a little review of that one, or maybe do a side by side once this is fermented and been in the bottle for a while. Anyway, gonna have to quickly wrap this part up because I think, yes, we are actually at a good temperature to get the mash on. So give me a few moments, guys. I will just get the mash going. I'll let you see it before it starts, and I'll tell you a little bit more about my about what I'm going to be doing with the brewing. Anyway, see you in a bit, guys. Alright guys, we're back. That was quicker than what I thought it would be, or it took, you know. As you can see, I've just about got all of my grains in the mash tun here, and I'm very happy. Thankfully my water temperature was just about bang on 66 degrees Celsius, which I'm very pleased with. Now, as I mentioned in the first part, this is going to be a 60-minute mash, and then once the boil starts, and I'll show you this as the video progresses. I'll only be using the one lot of hops in this. 12 grams of Fuggles is the only hop addition I will be doing. And then during the boil, I'll be adding, as I said, 100 grams of the lactose. I don't know if you can see it behind me here somewhere. The original recipe calls for a full 450 gram bag of lactose. However, 450 grams, 500 grams in a 1 gallon batch might just prove too sweet. So the recipe that I'm using calls for 100 grams. And the original recipe also called for the lactose to be added at 30 minutes in the boil. I'm actually going with the recommended time of 10 minutes from the Greg Hughes homebrew beer book. Again, recipe and method will be down there in the description for this recipe. So as you've seen, the mash is now on. I'm leaving this for an hour, and when I come back, with a bit of luck, I will be about to hit the boil, and again I will probably reiterate what I've just mentioned in this. So see you in a minute, guys. Right guys, we're back, and I don't know whether you can see it, but we have just hit the boil. I'll let this get to a bit of a rolling boil before I add the hops, which I don't think I mentioned in the first part of the video what they were, but I have 13 grams of Fuggles hops. Now this is the only hop addition that will be made in this beer. Let's just turn that down, because as you can probably see, the foam might be on its way to a boil over, so I'll just help break that down a bit. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Where was it? Yeah, this is the only hop addition in this entire batch. I won't be adding any more in the boil. I won't be doing any for a dry hop. It will be just this small pouch. And there you go. And okay, not too much of a foamy boil, or not too much foam on the top there. So I'll just get them infused. So they're in now for 1 hour. However, in about 50 minutes I will be coming back to add, and I think you can just see it on camera, this little batch of lactose sugar. It's just over 100 grams there. I will be adding this in with 10 minutes left in the boil. Don't think I'll come back and show you that. You don't need to see me add that. So the next time, or the next part you'll see, is when I am ready to pitch the yeast. I don't think I mentioned what yeast that was. That is SafeAle SO4. And as always, I'll get you a temperature, a starting gravity and a potential ABV. So we'll see you in about an hour. Right guys, well, we're back for the final part of the video for now. As you can see, I've got more or less everything set up for, well, again, the final part of this. The work right here, I've just taken it out of a water bath. So let's not beat around the bush. Let's get it poured into my fermenter. Get a temperature. A gravity reading. And let's see what we get. Thankfully not too many hops coming out of the out of my kettle there. As always, trusty tilt. Sorry about this guys, I'm just giving it a few moments to settle. Just centralise that in the centre a bit, see if it'll... Sorry about that guys, it's been jumpy, and it jumping all over the place, this gravity. Anyway, 1054 at 23.9 degrees Celsius. I'm kind of pleased with that. I was kind of expecting it to be a little bit higher, but again, I am not disappointed in the slightest at that. That should give me a nice 5%-ish beer. Saying that, you should know the gravity is down there, because I will be adding them and updating them as and when. And I don't know if I mentioned it, I think I did very briefly. The yeast that I'm using, good old English yeast, put my teeth in, SafeAle SO4. One of my favourites actually, I do like this yeast. As I like to do, I'll just dump the whole lot in. Place on the lid. And that's it for this part. I apologise guys if this has been a bit too long so far. Hope it hasn't been. Hope it hasn't been too long. Hope it hasn't been too boring for you. Hope you found it of use. As always, I showed you the recipe at the beginning of the video. It's down there in the description. My 1 gallon recipe, that is. Again, the video that I was referring to at the top of this video, where I got this recipe from, that'll be down there as well. Go and give James and Steve some love, show them some love, because they are very good brewers, very informative, just a couple of nice and really good entertaining fellas. I think you'll enjoy it. Right guys, well again, that's it for now. I will update you as and when I start to see some different numbers. So for now, I'll see you very soon. Right guys, we're back, and as you can see, just a quick update. I've now bottled this particular Milk Stout. Now I say that because very briefly at the top of the video you might have heard me mention that I had actually brewed this just recently off camera as an attempt of how to brew this. So I just wanted to show you very quickly the two side by side in bottles. Anyway, this is the version that I've been bringing you from the top of the video. There you can see very quickly the particulars: 5.3%, 28 IBUs. But let me just bring in version 1 very quickly. Now again, this is the version that I brewed off camera about a month ago now. I've got about 4 bottles of this left, with a slightly different malt bill and a slightly different couple of slightly different additions to this one. But as you can also see, slight difference in ABV, in that this one is 4.9%, but still with 28 IBUs and 500 ml. So if you want, guys, as a separate video, if you want me to do a side by side between these, let me know down in the comments, and well, I'll see if I can't keep a couple of bottles of version 1 to do so. But as I've just bottled version 2, the next and final part of this video will be in a few days, maybe a week, 10 days time. But again, guys, just let me know down there if you'd like me to do a side by side. I'll see what I can do. But for now, I'll just leave you with a shot of the two side by side. And as far as version 2 goes, the glass part of this grain to glass video will be recorded as and when. So as always, guys, I will see you very soon. Hey guys, we're back for the final part of this particular grain to glass video. So let's get down to it, shall we? Again, not very often I can do this, but here's the final product. I'll just give that a few seconds just to settle with, focusing. There you go, the Milk Stout, 5.3%, 500 ml bottle, 28 IBUs according to the calculator that I used. Right, so as I pour it, what can I tell you about it? Or what else can I tell you about it? Nice little hiss on there, as you probably heard. Well, this has now been in the bottle about a week, 10 days. If you've worked it out, the whole process has been about 2 weeks. Anyway, let's get a pour going. Probably not the best of glasses to use for a stout, but here's one, as you can see, that is going to generate a nice bit of head for you there. And here it is. I think it's probably because I'm more or less right under a light here, but nice little fluffy white head. Again, it's because I've got a light right above me here, but that's a nice light beige, just off white head. Bubbles are nicely tightly packed. As you can also see, absolutely pitch black. There is no light coming through that whatsoever. Tiny hint of light just showing through where the beer meets the head. I must admit as well, this is not the first time I've had this. I have had this a couple of times already, just to check the progress of the beer as it's been conditioning, settling. I don't know why you can see it. I did just slightly overcarbonate this a bit too much, I think, at least. I'll know that when it comes to the taste at this point. Nice little stream of bubbles making their way up the glass. A little bit unusual for a stout, or unusual for ones that I've had. Anyway, I'm sure you want to know what it smells, tastes like. Let's dive in. Let's give it a nose. Straight off the bat, you can smell that roastiness. Chocolate, slight roastiness, so just a tiny hint of the roastiness, a little bit of a coffee background, and the lactose is coming through ever so slightly. Anyway, let's dive in. Cheers. Oh, I'm very pleased with the progress. And on the flavour. On the flavour, it is actually more pronounced. That roastiness is there. The lactose is actually there very nicely, very sweet. Lactose flavour just on the back edge. The chocolate's there just ever so slightly. I think it's being hidden by the lactose. I'm just going to dive in once more just for an extra quick taste, see if I can't pick anything else up. Now, just as I held that little mouthful there, I could taste the chocolate ever so slightly. It's very nice. It's not overly harsh despite the carbonation. It's not bitter at all. And I'm surprised at that because as it only had the one hop addition, as you saw earlier in the video, I thought that bitterness would actually come out more. I suppose it was probably due to the amount of hops that I used. I think it was about 13 gram of Fuggles. Well, recipes down there in the description, as is the other specifics that I'm sure you want to know, and I think I got off track with that. The starting gravity of this, and I'm sure you want to know, was around about 1.054. I think I mentioned it earlier in the video actually. The final gravity was 1.013, a little bit higher than I expected, but I suppose that was due to the unfermentable sugars like the lactose. It's probably just boosted that ABV or the final gravity, excuse me. I suppose that was just raised a little bit thanks to the lactose. Again, not harsh, not bitter at all. The roastiness and the milk and the milkiness is actually hiding any bitterness there. Just slightly bitter and harsh from the carbonation. I think I need to play about with it a little bit more. I think I added a little bit too much carbonation, or too many carbonation drops, because I wanted to make sure that it generated a decent head. But I'm very pleased with it, and I think I will be brewing it again. In fact, I know I will. I'll probably be brewing it again this time next year for, again, maybe a winter beverage, if I could brew it enough. Probably last into maybe St. Patrick's Day, and have one or two there. But that's really all I can say about it. There's not a whole lot more else I can say, but again, very pleased with it, and I will be brewing it again. So, as I usually say now with these kind of videos, if you want to brew it up, guys, give it a go. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. My recipe will be down there in the description. As I also said at the top of the video, this recipe, excuse me, was inspired by a video from James and Steve at Basic Brewing. I'm sure a lot of you brewers out there, you probably know who they are. It was their Count Chocula Milk Stout that this recipe is based off of, or that particular video. I left out the cereal because I don't think we can get Count Chocula here in the UK. Somebody let me know down there if we can or not. But anyway, link to that video will be down there as well. Link to Basic Brewing, that will be down there as well. So if you're not subscribed to them and you'd like to see some easy easy brewing videos, give James and Steve a check out. I'm sure you'll like them. Very funny fellas, and they've helped me a lot with different ideas for different brews, a few of which that you've seen here on the channel. So a personal thank you to James and Steve for the idea of this one. Thank you so much, guys. Really nice beer. Alright guys, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, I apologise if it has gone on a bit too long. But you know me, I like to do things step by step for brewers of all kinds, beginners all the way to advanced. As I said at the top of the video, as I said just a few seconds ago, and as I've said throughout the video, the recipe for this particular batch will be down there in the description. For those of you that brew 5-10 gallons, the recipe to the original recipe, the video for that will be down there in the description. So yeah, as I said, give it a go. I think you'll like it. Right guys, well that's all I've got for you for now. So from Gravey's Brewery, until next time, this has been Gareth Goes Gravy. I'll see you later. Cheers.